So Christophe, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Really glad to be working with Naked Energy as you grow and as you evolve on this commercial director role. So what I'm keen to do is get a little bit of a flavour from you for potential people who want to be interested in the role. Is what's the company all about? What's the role all about? Why are you such a great place to work? And where can people get more information, which of course they can approach us about. But let's start with Naked Energy. It's a company I've known of for quite some time. You've got a really innovative product. Tell us perhaps just a few minutes of what's the company genesis? How did it come about? And what exactly are the products and solutions that you sell?
How did the company come about? Well, that's a good question. I used to have a career in a very different space. I used to be in advertising, but always wanted to do something in sustainability and something that could have a global impact. And actually, my grandfather was doing clean energy in the 1970s and 80s. But he told me when I was a little boy that fossil fuels are going to run out. So you need to do something about it. Right. He was a real advocate for clean energy, as you can imagine. That stuck with me. I never found the opportunity until about 10 years ago when I met a couple of the shareholders. Their names were on our patents as well. And we got together and they opened my eyes to the big problem of heat decarbonisation. Yep. And they were active in solar energy. So when we saw that heat was more than half of all the world's energy demand, and 90% of that's coming from fossil fuels still, yep. I wanted to do something about it. And that's how Naked Energy came about. We started a new company. We put all the IP into Naked Energy. And that's how Virtue, our solar technology, was born. We realized that with heat being such a big demand and renewable power growing, we've been doing well in the renewable power space, but renewable heat has been sort of lagging behind. So we wanted to develop a product that basically would produce more energy in less space, because we knew that we needed to produce renewable heat in a very compact space, because space is limited with population growth and mass urbanization. But we also wanted to make it affordable and versatile. And so that's how the design came around. And then we got some very early grant funding and then some seed funding. And we've been through a sort of a very detailed and lengthy R&D process. Yeah. And now we're at the very exciting sort of commercialization phase. Yeah. And we've proven the technology. It's protected, got supply chain. We have a good core team. Yeah. But now as we're scaling, we're going from startup to scale up. Yeah. It's the stage of the business where we're really excited to be looking for a commercial director. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic stage of the business. As I say, you've proved the product, you've got commercialization, you've got revenue, and now it's a case of that scaling both locally and internationally in the C&I marketplace and potentially then in other areas as well. So tell us maybe a little bit around where you see the next few years for the business and what the commercial director can expect. What kind of opportunities will they have when they join the organization? In terms of opportunity, it's very exciting. I mean, obviously, we've been on a lengthy journey, the company itself. But it just feels now like timing is good for the company, but also good from the macro environment. Clearly, there's a lot of geopolitical events that have been going on, but the cost of energy has just skyrocketed, and in particular, the cost of heat. So I think from a business perspective, we're now ready to scale. Technology is proven. We've got customers. We have revenues, as you highlighted. We've got now distributors and international partners in some key markets. And we're scaling that rapidly now. But the opportunity for the commercial director is almost limitless. By default, being a solar technology, there's almost no limit to how far and how wide we can deploy the technology. Right. And so the opportunity is really to scale the business from where we are today, where we're in good revenues, but it's going to scale rapidly into some very large markets like the US, some key markets in Europe. And so it really is somewhere where the commercial director can put their stamp internationally and really make their mark and create a legacy and turn Naked Energy into this business that has a global footprint, which clearly that's got a few steps to go through to make that happen. But that's the opportunity at hand for a commercial director. Certainly the opportunity. And there's a great team, right? Because yourself and Nick I've known for a while. You obviously presented and you've got the company to this stage and you obviously will continue to do that. But having somebody alongside who can both support with the strategic
growth of the business and looking at things from a strategic level, but also certainly it's really important right now to be able to get in the weeds a little bit and actually work with the existing commercial team to actually bring more sales, bring more revenue into the party, actually fundraise and actually grow. So it's that balance of both being able, willing to get your hands dirty, but also being able to take a helicopter view of strategic sort of future. Is that kind of where we're looking for?
Yeah, I think Naked Energy has always had a slightly different business model. So we're the technology owners, so we own the IP. And we've got a whole suite of patents now, which is good. So we own the technology, but we outsource the manufacturing. We have a giant manufacturing group called Jabil. They're a global Fortune 200 company. And our business model also is to build a global network of strategic partners that can distribute and be preferred delivery partners. So that's really about relationships. It's about B2B sales. It's about building on these partnerships to help scale. And we've got the key fundamentals so far. So we have a core commercial team within the business that are just absolutely fantastic. And we've been doing some direct sales ourselves. As any early technology company would need to do, we need to build out those use cases. And we've got some extremely high-profile projects which are being commissioned as we speak. Can't quite talk about them just yet, but they're coming down the pipe, and we'll be able to broadcast those in the next few weeks. And as you mentioned, we're focused on the CNI sector. So these are big opportunities where customers in, say, the hospitality sector, the healthcare industry, even pharmaceuticals, manufacturing industry, where there's a large heat demand. This is where we think we can have the biggest impact by reducing their energy consumption, by reducing their bills, obviously, and their carbon reduction. So it's really a very scalable model. And now it's about commercial execution and building on the sales that we have already. And we're very much looking for a commercial director that's a doer, that's bold and isn't afraid to really take a technology and scale and enter new markets, and ideally have had the track record of those B2B sales, and particularly within a hardware space, and ideally within the renewables sector. It's kind of what we're looking for as well.
Those sort of building services, heat, mechanical solutions to the CNI marketplace. So, Chris, we talked a little bit about the individual. Let's talk a little bit more about the culture of the business. It's always critical in any startup that people have the right skill set, but importantly, they have the right values and the right culture. So, can you share a little bit about the values and culture of the organization?
Fundamentally, I started the company because we wanted to have a positive impact on the world, and we tend to refer it to profit with purpose. And everybody within the business is mission aligned. They really care about the environment, they care about the planet, and we want to have a global impact. We're a very ambitious company, and we want to help businesses and communities all around the world save money and reduce carbon emissions. That's absolutely critical. So the type of person that we're looking for as well is mission aligned, has those same fundamental beliefs that they care about the environment, they care about the business and the type of people and the communities that they're working with. But ultimately, it's profit for purpose is what we're looking for, and having that ethical, mission aligned view on the business as well.
And the team, as you say, it's a good small team that you have, and the commercial team obviously that will be part of this is already in existence. And again, it seems to be, because I visited the office, a really good aligned feel about the business.
As I said, everyone is very much mission aligned. The core values of the business are, we have 3 R's. There's rigor, responsibility, and revolution. And the rigor is about the detail that we have with the science that's behind the technology, and the effort that we make. That's the rigor. The responsibility we have is really about the planet. We feel responsible for the planet, for our families, for our communities, about what we're doing. And then the last R is revolution. We really think that we are doing something really new, and how we develop the technology, the actual design of it, how we're going to sell it, how we're going to scale our business. So we look at those 3 R's, and that kind of makes up the DNA of the business, and very much the kind of makeup that we're looking for the commercial director as well.
Great. No, thanks for sharing that. If you're interested in the role, and you should be, it's a fantastic company, then obviously reach out to myself or Elena.Loseva, who's one of the Hyperion team. Below this episode, there'll be some links to a job advertisement, which will go on to our website, so you can find out some more there. If you're curious, if you think you have the right skill set, then reach out to one of the team and we'll talk to you more about the role. And the important factor from us is just getting the technologies and companies who are making a difference in the world, the right people. And if you're potentially the right person, reach out and we'll have a conversation with you.